Hi everybody, this is Richard Gordon, the instructor for Engineering 310 for the summer of 2017. This relatively short video will cover everything that we need for the first day of class, and then we will actually begin meeting all together on Wednesday, May 31st. It's very important that you watch this video so that you'll know what to expect in class tomorrow on Wednesday, May 31st, because in fact, you will need to do some work prior to that class meeting, and we will have a test at that time. All of that will be described in today's video. First of all, I have put on Blackboard several documents for you. There you will find a syllabus, which probably will not be extremely useful to most of you unless you want to know ahead of time what topics we will be covering in the course. And then there will be three other documents which are referred to as information sheets. There's the first information sheet, the second, and the third. And then there's also a lecture schedule, and we'll talk more about that in just a moment. I think for right now, the best thing to do is probably to start with the third information sheet. Now, as you can see in this third information sheet, and again, I repeat that all of this is on Blackboard, but let's just read at least part of this third information sheet together. And let me see if perhaps I can make this a little larger. Okay. So it says, although this note is rather detailed, please read it very carefully. This summer, Engineering 310 will be taught in a flipped class mode. This means that students will view videotaped lectures outside of class and then work on problems and take quizzes in class. In most cases, the students will be allowed to get help from their classmates or the instructor while working on these problems and quizzes. So what this means, to put this very simply, is that this is called a flipped class model because instead of having the traditional situation where you have the lecture in class and then you work on homework at home, now you will have the lecture at home on video and you'll be able to work on homework in class. You'll work on homework and on tests in class. And most of the time, you will be able to get help when you're working on these problems in class. You'll be able to get help from me, your instructor, help from your other classmates, and help from the book, or you can look at your notes. Any resource that you wish will be available to you most of the time for most of our daily tests. But there will be a few exceptions, which we will cover now. Now, the detail of the grading scheme for the course is the following. Final exam will count 50%, and the final exam will be from noon until 3 p.m. In our classroom, Anderson Room 11, on Monday, June 26th. Now, in addition to the final exam, we will have a quiz every single day starting tomorrow, Wednesday, May 31st. And all of those quizzes put together will count for half of your grade. Now, there will be a total of 18 quizzes. 15 of these are referred to as regular quizzes, and 3 of them will be referred to as special quizzes. All of the quizzes count the same amount. You can look at the second information sheet concerning the drop grade policies for these quizzes. While working on the regular quizzes, and that's most of them, that's 15 of the 18 are regular quizzes. When you're working on the regular quizzes, students will be able to get help from their books, their notes, the videos, their classmates, or from me, the instructor. It is only on those 3 special quizzes that you will have to work independently and will not be able to refer to books or notes or videos or classmates or to me. Okay? Now, in this first video or meeting, whatever you want to call it, for this video right now, I'm hoping that I can address any questions that you might have. And then starting on Wednesday, May 31st, for every class meeting, you will be expected to have viewed lecture videos before the class meeting. Now, there are 2, in general, there will be 2 videos for each class meeting, since each class meeting is really the equivalent of 2 lectures during the regular semester. And the 2 videos that you need to watch for Wednesday, May 31st are given right here at these links. Now, these links are to videos on my YouTube account, and so I'm asking that when you go to these links, you should not only view the videos, but also subscribe to my YouTube account so that you will easily be able to find the future videos, because for future videos, I won't be posting the links for those. You can find all of those on my account. So be sure when you view these 2 videos for tomorrow, that's Wednesday, May 31st, when you view these 2 videos for tomorrow, at the same time or after you view those, go ahead and subscribe to my account so that you'll be able to view all of the Engineering 310 videos. Now, as I say here, you will be expected to have completed the problems presented in the videos. You'll see that in the videos there will be the problems at the end of each video, and you need to go ahead and work on these at home, and that will help you to be ready for what will be covered in class. And on these quizzes in class, part of the quiz will be devoted to just a repetition of the problems that you see in the video, and the other part of the quiz will be devoted to new problems that you haven't seen before, but that are related to the same topic. But again, remember that on any of the regular quizzes, you will be able, if you get stumped, you'll be able to look at your book or look at your notes, talk to your classmates, talk to me, look at the videos. You'll have a lot of resources available. Okay, and that's what it's saying here. As you work on the regular quizzes, you may use your book and notes. Okay. Notices concerning this course will be sent to student olemiss.edu email accounts. So be sure, it's your responsibility to check these accounts frequently. So that takes care of information, the 3rd information sheet. And now let's look at the others. I'll go ahead and look at the first one now. And let's again see if we can make this a little larger. Okay, so this first information sheet, there's a lot of repetition, but it doesn't hurt, and this help you sort of pound in these ideas because it is a little different for most of you probably. So the first information sheet, it just says that there will be a test during every class meeting except for the first one, meaning today. So starting tomorrow, May 31st, there will be a test or quiz. I'm using the words test and quiz interchangeably, okay? There will be 2 kinds of tests, regular test and special test. Regular test will be based on problems assigned at the beginning of the class period and problems assigned in the videos. So that's just what I said before. On these daily tests, you're going to see problems from the videos and also problems that you haven't seen before but that are directly related to the videos. Students will be expected to watch the videos before the class meetings. That's important because if you don't watch the video beforehand, then you can't participate. One of the main ideas behind the flipped class model is that people really learn a great deal from discussing problems with others and from actually teaching each other how to work the problems. So if you have not prepared, you can't carry your share of the load, and it's just not fair to other students. So I will insist on your viewing the videos before class meetings so that you can work on the quizzes together. For regular tests, students will be able to consult with each other and with the instructor while working on the test. Special tests will be based on problems similar to those covered in previous class meetings. Special tests will not include any problems on material the students have not had the opportunity to discuss with the instructor in a previous class meeting. So on those few times, on those 3 occasions when we have special tests and you are unable to ask me or your fellow students for help or refer to the textbook or anything like that, on those 3 occasions when that is the case, you don't have to worry. Those will not cover new material. Those special tests will cover material from previous classes, and it will be material that you've already had the opportunity to ask me and your classmates about. So that's not anything you need to worry about. Notice the special tests here say they will generally not be announced beforehand. I may relent on that a little bit. I may give you some strong hints, but certainly I'm not going to promise to let you know about these special tests. And the reason for that is simply that the threat of those special tests helps to keep students on their toes, helps to keep them reviewing the material and making sure they know what's going on. And if you'll do that, then by the time the final exam comes around, you're ready for it and don't have to do a great deal of extra study. Now, the next part of this information sheet is important. We begin to talk about the drop grade policy, and I do want to make sure that everybody understands that. So please listen to this carefully, and this will also be discussed some on the second information sheet. It says the midterm grade will be based only on the special test scores. Now, of course, in the summer, midterm grades are not very important, so we don't have to worry too much about that. But here in bold, it is important to notice the score on any test that is missed, regardless of the reason, will be 0. Students arriving after 10:15 a.m. will not be allowed to take that day's test, regardless of whether it is a special test or a regular test. No makeup test will be given. So please read that carefully. If you miss a test, it's a 0. It doesn't matter what the reason is. If you were sick, if it was an automobile accident, if it was a death in the family, any reason, it doesn't matter. You get a 0. Now, I know that sounds very tough at first, but before you think that this is too terrible, just read the rest of this, and then you'll begin to understand it. The final grade will be computed as follows. The average of the best 14 test scores, whether they are regular or special test scores, will be computed. Again, the score on any test that is missed, regardless of the reason, will be 0. No makeup test will be given. So now think about this. As I said before, there will be 18 of these tests altogether, but only the top 14 will be kept. In other words, you have 4 out of 18 that will be dropped. Or in other words, over 20% of the grades can be dropped. That's why I'm tough on this policy up here, and I say that the score will be 0 regardless of the reason that you miss a test. It will always be 0, but on the other hand, you will get 4 drop grades. And we'll talk about that a little bit more on information sheet number 2. Okay, a final note from information sheet number one is be sure to scan your ID at one of the attendance scanners between 9:45 and 10:35 each day class meets. Now let's look at information sheet number 2. And again, as I've already told you, there is a good bit of repetition. So some of this is repeated from information sheet 1 and some from information sheet 3. But anyway, here we go. So it says, as was stated in the first information sheet, the policy concerning missed tests is as follows. The score on any test that is missed, regardless of the reason, will be 0. No makeup test will be given. The final grade will be computed as follows. The average of the best 14 test scores, whether they are regular or special test scores, will be computed. The total number of regular and special tests combined will be 18. So we're only going to take the best 14 out of 18. You have 4 drop grades. Again, the score on any test that is missed, regardless of the reason, will be 0. No makeup test will be given. This will determine 50% of your final grade. The other 50% will be determined by the final exam. And here is part of what I've already said. Part of the reason for the very large number of drop tests is to allow students to miss a reasonable number of tests without needing to provide an excuse. Any student who feels uncomfortable with this policy may instead choose the following second policy. Now, before I even read the second policy to you, I don't advise you to take it. I've never had a student take it before, but I will at least let you know about it. It says, if a student misses a test, and you know, this is for those people, if you feel uneasy about this idea of not having any excused misses, then you can have an excused miss in this way, but you're going to give up a lot of your drop grades. And so that's why students don't like this second policy, and I don't advise it either, but I just wanted to give you an out. If you feel like you're going to have a lot of days that you have absences and you have some kind of excuse, or you have some kind of reason that you could get an official excuse for, then you might consider this policy. But frankly, if you're going to be missing that much for a summer course, it would be better for you not to take the summer course, because summer courses move very quickly, and if you have to miss a lot, you really should reconsider taking the course. So like I say, I don't advise you to take this second policy, but just to explain it, it says, if a student misses a test and has an official excuse signed by a physician or some similar authority, the student will have the opportunity to take a makeup test unassisted by any other person. So you can't get help. Even if this is making up a regular test, you know, the regular test, you will be able to get help from others, but not on any makeup test like this if you're under this second policy. This excuse must be provided to the instructor within the first 7 days following the date of the missed test, or it will be considered unacceptable. Furthermore, the makeup test, which will be closed book and closed notes and may not be a multiple choice test, must be taken within the first 10 days following the date of the missed test. The score on any test that is missed without an official excuse will be 0. No makeup test will be given for tests that are missed without an official excuse. The final grade will be computed as follows. The average, see, you have only 1 drop grade with this policy instead of 4, because this is the best 17 test scores, whether they are regular or special test scores, will be computed. The total number of regular and special tests combined is expected to be 18. This will determine 50% of your final grade. The other 50% will be determined by the final exam. Okay, and as I said here, note that in the original policy, the best 14 scores are counted, whereas in that second policy is the best 17 are counted. If you wish to be governed by the second policy, you must so notify me by email at eegordon@olemiss.edu by noon on Friday, June 2nd. 2017. Make sure you have received from me an acknowledgement of your decision to choose the second policy. Any person who has not so notified me by that time will be governed by the original policy outlined at the top of this page. And that's the policy all previous students have used, and I would certainly suggest you do it as well. So that takes care of the third information sheet, and the only remaining information to talk to you about is the lecture schedule, and it is given right here. And just make sure you understand that the videos shown over here on the left for each row, that you go ahead and look at those videos before the class meeting on this date. So you need to look at videos B1 and B2 before the class meeting on Wednesday, May 31st. You need to look at videos B3 and B4 before the class meeting on Thursday, June 1st, etc. And you'll see these on my YouTube account. They will have ENGR 310 as part of the name, and then the rest of the name will be B1 or B2 or B3 or B4 or one of these symbols listed here. So once again now, just to summarize everything, this is all the information for the course, and all of this information will be on Blackboard. It already is on Blackboard for you, so you can access it there. If you have any questions about any of this, don't hesitate to email me. Tomorrow, Wednesday, May 31st, you need, before that class meeting tomorrow, you need to look at these videos, B1 and B2. And the links for those were given in an earlier, they're giving on one of the information sheets, and they were shown, let's see, just to refresh your memory, I think that was on, let's see, maybe the second information sheet. Nope, let's see. Maybe it was the first information sheet. That doesn't look correct either. So let's look at the third information sheet. Yes. So the links for those first two videos are here on the third information sheet, right there. And again, that is available to you on Blackboard. So those links for these two videos are on the third information sheet, which is on Blackboard. And do remember when you go and view those videos that you should also subscribe to my account, so that then you can access all of these other videos shown here, because I won't be sending out the links for all of those. Those are just on my YouTube account. So you'll watch these two videos before class tomorrow, and then when you come into class tomorrow, we will have a test, and that test will have on it some problems that you will see in these two videos. And it will also have some problems that you won't see in the videos, but will be very similar to material discussed in the videos. And I guarantee you that tomorrow's test will be a regular test. So that means you will be able to discuss the material with me. You'll be able to discuss the material with your classmates as you're working on the test. Now, I mean that literally, as you're working on the test, you'll be able to come up and get help from me, get help from your classmates. You'll be able to look at the videos, look at your book, look at any notes that you take on the videos. And so I know that this is a bit of a different way to do things, but most students actually like it quite a bit. It's fun. And it gives you, one thing that's nice about it is that with the videos, if you miss some point, you can play it over as many times as you wish. And so I think after they get used to it, most students find this very enjoyable, and I hope that you will do so as well. So again, if you have any question, either write me an email or I will see you tomorrow in class and we will take care of it at that time. Okay, well, thanks very much and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.